sternum, lock underneath your sacrum. I'm a little crooked there. And just take your legs, bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, and let your knees knock in together. So allow your arms to either rest by your side. You can put one hand on your heart. I'm going to turn this way for the camera. One hand on your abdomen. Or you could have your arms a little bit more open. Those of you who were with me yesterday might want to have a little bit of relief in your shoulders and chest, perhaps, and of course in your legs. And just start to notice the fullness of your breath, the depth of your breath, the width of your breath. So it moves top, bottom, and side to side. And close your eyes and just, listen to your breath moving through the body. Notice if it gets stuck anywhere. And if you feel that it's stuck, maybe expand a little bit more, open up your body a little bit differently. So allow your body to kind of speak to you. And let's just take a few more rounds of breath here on our backs softly. There should be no tightening in your glutes, so you should be totally supported on the block, so your body weight can totally sink into it. And let's all take this next inhale to bring the knees upright. As you exhale, stretch one leg at a time out in front of you. If that feels like it's too extreme on your back, remove the block or bend one knee at a time. And you can keep the arms where they've been. They can go over your head a little bit more if it feels right for you. You could even give yourself a little hug. I like, for me, today, the openness of my chest and shoulders, the release of my body weight onto the block so I don't have to squeeze my glutes. I feel like I squeeze my glutes like all day long. So this is a nice opportunity to release. Hi, Maria. Good morning. So giving a little length to the hip flexors here. We, a lot of us sit a lot. They get tight and short. They end up, putting pressure on our lower back. So, there's not just the reason these feel good, but there's reasons why we make certain moves at certain times and how we adjust our bodies for the stresses we put on it and the normal times that we put stress on it. Take a breath as you bend your knees again. Place your feet back on the floor. Bring the right leg off the floor and bring it like a letter L. So a 90-degree bend at your knee. Good. And then just straighten it up in the air so that it's over your hip still. So as the knee bends here, to keep my 90 degrees, my knee has to be over my hip. It's not going to be over my chest. And then just extend it up. And look, now the sun's out, Cindy, you're lucky. Okay. So the right leg is up in the air, point and flex through the foot, roll through the ankle. You don't have to hold on today. You can. No pun intended with the song. And then just let your leg, kind of feel the weight of your leg and gravity, bringing your leg towards the hip towards the block. So surrendering all the way into the block. And perhaps this is a notion to let go of what we don't need. As you take this inhale, put the foot back on the floor and switch legs. So the left leg is 90 degrees. The knee is over the hip, not over the belly. That won't give us 90 degrees. And then keeping the knee over the hip, extend the leg up. So maybe your leg bends. Who cares? Without any pressure or tension in your back, your hips, just let the leg reach up to the sky. And let the weight of gravity and the weight of your legs sink or allow your hip or your leg to float into your hip. And don't hold on. Don't hold on to yesterday. Don't hold on to the things that we don't need at this very moment in time. Bend your knee and place the foot on the floor. And then one more time, take the soles of the feet together, open the knees out. Here I like to take my hands on the inside of my thighs and gently roll them up and open. And then once I've got that openness without clenching into my glutes, release one more time. Good morning. Hi. That's okay. That's okay. No problem. Just mute yourself and we love you. So we're on a block with the soles of the feet together, knees open. Your body weight again is surrendering onto the block, so try not to squeeze into your glutes to help support you. Just let go. One more breath. Good. Now inhale, bring your knees back together. Press through the feet and lift the hips up for a bridge. And just hold the bridge as you take the block out and off to the side. Stretch your arms all the way over your head. Point your knees forward, point your heels towards your buttocks. Resting on the top of the shoulder blades, take one more breath. And then as you articulate your upper, mid, and lower back down, the arms come with you. And now hug your knees all the way up to your chest. Rock on your spine, move side to side. And then grab a hold of your fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows as you hold onto your shins, below your knee or underneath your thighs, wherever your flexibility takes you. And then start to rock and roll. You can release your hands a little bit. Rock and roll your spine until you come up onto your hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Pad your knees if you need to. And then start to do some cat-cow actions, tucking the toes, arching the back, dipping the belly. Exhale, round and curl, chin to chest, tailbone tucks underneath you. Spread your shoulders apart. Inhale, dip your belly and arch your back, broaden your collarbones. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, release. Exhale, round and curl. And keeping your knees pretty wide, toes touching, push back to child's pose. Reach your arms out in front of you. Put your forehead on the floor. Spread your fingers. Push the fingers as if you were pulling the mat from the center out to the outside of your arms. So the pinky edges reach towards the outside of your mat. And again, this is kind of an internal movement, right? You're not really moving your arms. It's kind of an isometric movement as we stretch a little bit more across the upper back. Taking the inhaling breath. Come up to your hands and knees again. Take your right arm, sweep it back and up, look at it out to the side, and exhale, bring it underneath, reaching your right arm to the left arm in front of you. Hug your hips towards your midline. So reach forward, and with your left hand, reach out to the side with your right hand, and you're rolling on towards the back of your head. Take this breath here. You can take anything you want with your left leg up in the air, bound, or just stay where you are. And then keeping your left arm outstretched, bring your right arm to meet it. Bring your forehead or chin down to the floor, puppy dog pose. Nice big stretch to the front of our chest, shoulders. And then walk your hands back underneath your face. Round your back into a cat stretch. Inhale to neutral. Take your left arm, sweep it back and around. Look up there. Exhale, left arm underneath the right. Right arm moves to the front, left arm goes back. So if you're going to play a little golf now, you have a little opening in your shoulders, tennis, whatever you're going to play. Reach in two directions. Hug your hips towards the midline. If you're going to lift the right leg up and play with it, go ahead and do so. You know, it's always what your body is speaking to you at the moment. Don't think about what should I do. You should just breathe. Take another breath as the right arm stays outright. If you're up in the air, come on back down. And then come back forward, chin, chest, or forehead to the floor. Hips are up in the air. Good. Now on this inhale, walk your hands underneath your shoulders again. Shift forward, round your back one more time. And then come to neutral as you tuck your toes underneath you. Lift yourself into a downward facing dog. Adjust it so that you're in the proper dimensions for your dog. Hips up in the air. Just pick off the hairs from your mat. Now, go ahead and bend your knees here like a turbo dog, chest to your thighs. Keeping the shins parallel to the floor, shift forward to a plank, then straighten your legs. And if that doesn't work, go to your knees. Push back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees so your shins are parallel to the floor. So we're learning about a lot of math today, right? Parallel 90 degrees. Keeping them parallel to the floor, just shift into plank, then straighten your legs. So you shouldn't have to move anything else. Downward dog. Try it one more time. Bend your knees a lot, so that your shins are parallel to the floor. So a little bit different than your turbo dog, you might bring your chest a little further back. Your shins are parallel to the floor. Keeping that parallel position as you shift to plank, then straighten your legs. Pull the belly up and in, pull the knees up, pull the shoulders open. Downward facing dog, exhale. Walk your dog from side to side, and then when you're ready, settle into your first full downward facing dog. Take 3 to 5 breaths here, depends on how slowly you breathe. So full breath in, full breath out. On your count, your body's count. And on your final 3rd or 5th breath, come forward back to the plank for a moment. Lower your left knee and step your right foot in between your hands. Place your hands on the floor blocks. Right knee over the ankle. Move your back leg back enough that you're not sitting on top of your kneecap. Pull your shoulders back, heart opens. Lift your belly away from your thigh so the blocks will help you get that from collapsing onto your thigh. One more breath. Good. With your hands on the blocks, you can move the blocks back and even make them higher. Straighten your front leg and fold over it. Pull your right hip back. Toes up or down. Kind of your choice, but if it's going to make you avoid the hamstring stretch, keep the toes down. Take another breath. Good. Inhale, come forward again. So you might be moving your hands a little bit. You might be moving the blocks higher and lower. Straighten the legs, fold back, folding up and over. Let's do that a couple more times, using your breath, shifting forward, straightening the leg, getting into the hamstrings, releasing the hip flexors as you bend your knee forward, straighten the leg, and one more time, we're going to bend the front knee. Take your right hand on the inside of your right foot as you spin your left foot to the side. Good. And take the arm up in the air. So like a side angle pose. From here, everybody, look down at your right toes. Inhale, bring yourself up. So it's like a warrior 2. Good. That's it. So your right knee is bent, your left arm is pulling back. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, lean to the back end of your mat. Left hand down, right leg up, right arm up. Maybe spin the arm over your head. Now keep your arms as they are and lower your right foot to the floor. And just open up the front of your shoulders, chest, hips. Nice long stretch. Inhale, rebend your right knee, warrior 2, on your knee. Exhale, hands to the floor. Bring your back foot underneath you, tuck the toes, and find a 3-legged downward facing dog, right leg in the air. Open up the hip, square your shoulders. Make a wish. And then turn your hips squared and find your downward facing dog. Measure out your dog by coming to your high plank. Pull your knees up, look forward, pull your belly up and in. Good, and hips up in the air. So when you go from dog to plank, you shouldn't have to crawl out, right? You should be in a wide enough stance that, and if you have to move anything, I just suggest moving the legs rather than the hands. So this time, come forward to your plank, lower your right, your right knee to the floor, step your left leg through, do any padding you need, I'll see how I do here. And then shift your weight so that you're not on your knee, you're a little bit behind it, as they say. Good. Good. So just sink down here. Sink down meaning let your right hip release. Hug your left hip in. Not sink down and collapse on your thigh. Pull your shoulders back and around. Pull your collarbones broad. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Take another breath. I don't know about your hips, but my hips appreciate this a lot. All day long. Now straighten your front leg as best you can. Bring the blocks back higher if you'd like. Fold over again. If you're going to lift your toes up, but that avoids something in your hamstrings, see if you can stretch into the hamstrings. The more we avoid, the more we avoid. Right, Daisy? Inhale and exhale. Daisy's not avoiding anything today. Never avoid kisses or sticks. Take a breath in, fold forward again. Come back into your lunge. And then we're going to start to move a couple times, straightening and bending the leg. So take your time moving. You know, the transitions are equally as important as the poses, right? So we make this dance with our yoga. It becomes this really beautiful dance of moving from one pose to the other, and here's your transitions. Take another breath as you find your way back into your low lunge. Take your block on the inside of the leg and take your left hand to the block. Spin your right foot to the side. Right arm comes up. Hug your hip underneath you. Lift in and out of your waistline. So keep bringing your hips underneath you or your tailbone underneath you. Another big breath. Look down at your left toes. Inhale, rise up to warrior two. So on the other side now, pull your right arm back, left arm forward. Looking good, girls. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now take a breath in as you bring your right arm behind you, left leg, left arm up, left arm can come over your head. Breathe. Feel the energy in the left glute. And then take your left leg down and hold here. Really nice long stretch in your hips. One more breath. Inhale, back, warrior two. Exhale, hands to the floor, spin your back leg forward. Tuck your back toes underneath you, lift the knee up, and find a three-legged downward facing dog, opening your hips to the left side. Shoulders stay square. Take a breath. Lower your left foot to the floor, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to your high plank, look forward. Choose to go to your knees or just go down with a straight leg, chaturanga. Upward dog or low cobra on your belly. Downward dog, hips in the air. Good, breathing in, breathing out. Rise high on your toes, soften your knees, take little steps to walk your feet to your hands, top of your mat. Somewhere towards the top of your mat. You don't have to stand on the edge. Take your two fists in between your feet, and then bend your knees so your chest and belly actually rest on your thighs, and let your head point down. So like you have a flashlight on the top of your head, pointing to the floor, you can make circles with your neck. Now as you rest here with your hands in a very comfortable position, if it feels right for your body to straighten your legs more, straighten your legs more. So we're keeping our head down, we're keeping our chest down, we're keeping our belly down. And some of us are straightening our legs a little bit more. And it's all very personal, right? Not everybody will get straight legs in this pose. Then bring your hands to the back of your heels. And some of you will get your wrist forearms behind your calves and fold yourself a little bit more in half. Shift your weight into the balls of your feet, hips over your ankles. Inhale, pulling your hands onto the front of your shins, look forward. Place your hands to your hips, come up to standing. Bring your heel toe together. Release your arms down by your side. Good, stand tall, stand grounded. Big toe, little toe, ball of the foot, heel of the foot, nice and strong into the floor. Inhale and exhale. Open your eyes if they're closed. Feet can be together or a little bit separate. Bring your arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, open, fold all the way down, hands to floor or blocks. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift up, rise up. If rising up with a flat back is too much for your lower back, please find another way. Support yourself, arms down by your side. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold through center, hands to floor, shins, blocks, head down. Inhale, lengthen your spine, rise up to stand. Press through your feet to rise up. Exhale, prayer to the heart. One more time, just having a little camera difficulty. And do that one more time. Reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, fold through your center. There we go. Hang your head down. Stay here, separate your feet again, about hips width apart. Take opposite elbows and sway. Feel the grounding of your feet. Take the other arm now. Such a lovely face. And then hold to center. Inhale, hands to shins, look up. Exhale, fold, grab the back of your calves. Fold in half, shift your weight over your heels. And then inhale, rise to stand your way. Arms come up, hands to your heart center. Exhale, feet together. Top of the mat if you're not. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, hands to floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step to a high plank, pause. Inhale here. Shift forward, exhale, halfway down or on your knees. Inhale, upward dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take as many push-ups as you want. That means 0 to whatever. Stay for another breath. Rise onto your toes. Bend your knees. This time you can walk or jump to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Bring the arms with you overhead. Hands to your heart center. Exhale. This is called Surya Namaskara A, Sun Salutation A. Let's do that again. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands to floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump, float through. Take your time in the movements. Remember the transitions. Downward dog. Couple of breaths in downward dog. Breathe in and out. High on your toes, soften your knees. Take yourself to the top of your mat. Halfway lift when you do. Exhale, fold. Rise up to stand. Bring your arms in prayer to your heart center one more time. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands to floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take it through your chaturanga or skip it, go to dog, add to it, go to your knees. I mean, there's so many options. Some people take handstands to float back. When you're in downward dog, let's hang out here for a moment. Walk your dog or stay in stillness. Good. On the inhaling breath, shift your right foot in between your two hands. Place your hands on the floor of blocks for a moment. Chest is off your thigh. So again, we're not putting our body weight into our thigh or onto our thigh. So right knee is over the ankle, back leg is strong, thigh parallel to the floor. Inhale. If you're on the floor blocks, just hover for a moment and just feel the energy in the back side of your right leg to help support you. And then pull your shoulders up over your hips. Stretch your arms overhead. And then bend your back knee, bend your arms. Keep your leg low as you straighten it and straighten the arms again, crescent lunge. Your hands can touch, they don't have to. Inhale and exhale. Pull your right hip back, ribs down, inhale. Now exhale, stand up and straighten your leg, hinge a little forward, but not too much, keeping the hips and shoulders square. Good. Inhale, bend your front knee, arms come up. Exhale, straighten arms, legs, a little hinge forward. Just enough, it's like you're gonna take off. Inhale, rebend. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Now hinge, but a little bit further forward. Place your hands to the floor blocks as you rebend your front knee and float your back leg off the floor. Toes down, hips squared. Good. Supported warrior three pose with a slight bend in your right knee. Inhale. Good. Step it back to your low lunge. Hands on floor blocks. Straighten your front leg. Pull your right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale, long. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Take this breath. Rebend your front knee. Step back to the three-legged dog. Right leg in the air. Open your hip. Get a little relief in that right glute. Bend it straight and point and flex. Roll the ankle. And then lower your right foot to the floor. Downward facing dog. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale. Shift your left leg to the front of your mat. Knee on top of ankle. Hands on floor or blocks. Good. Think about your back leg as much as you think about the front leg. So the back leg is very active. It's like it's in a plank. Your front leg, big toe, little toe, ball of the foot, heel. And then imagine that you're pulling your heel backwards. So get a little action in the backside. Good. Now hover your fingertips. Just find what's working here to keep you in this position. And then take your shoulders over your hips, arms come up overhead. Bend the arms and bend the back knee. Straighten the back leg, straighten the arms, but keep your hips low. Anything with your hands that you're doing is fine. Suck the ribs in so you're not arching through your lower back. Inhale. Exhale. Now straighten your front leg. Arms come down. Hinge a little forward. That's it, like a G6. Inhale, arms up, leg back. Exhale, straighten, fold. Let me know. Inhale, up. Exhale, straighten. Hinge a little bit more forward. Good. Place your hands on the floor blocks as you rebend your front knee. Bring the weight into it and hover your right leg off the floor. More than a hover, parallel it. The left leg is bent. A lot, a little. But the weight is behind the knee. Breathe in, breathe out. Find length from the tailbone to the head, the tailbone to the foot, from the head to the foot. One more breath. Exhale, step all the way back, low lunge. And then straighten your front leg and fold over it. Pull your left hip back, right hip forward. Find length, inhale. And fold over your left shin, thigh, wherever you are. Do not roll onto your left pinky toe. Press the left big toe down. Inhale, your front knee bends again. And we find the three-legged dog. Open up your hip. So get relief in the glutes, in the hip. And then turn yourself back to downward facing dog. This one, let's shift forward, find a plank. Choose to take chaturanga or go right back to dog. Choose to take a couple of extra push-ups. You do you. Downward dog, hips up. Good. Inhale. Right foot steps between your hands. Good. Stay and hover. Good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend your front knee and your back knee, and arms. And then inhale, keep the legs low. Bye, E.T. Bye, sweetie. Exhale, hinge forward, fly. Good. Rebend your front knee and place your hands on the floor blocks. Send your weight into your right leg and lift your left leg up. All right, now, we're going to keep our right hand down and spin open to your left side, finding your half moon. Put your hand on your hip first. Find some success in just finding the pose. Your L shape like we were on the floor. Left arm up in the air. Stacking shoulders. Reaching your left leg long out of your hip. Great, guys. Remember, you can also bring your knee down. It's always an option, though it'll change it a little bit. Now, from this half moon position, go ahead and put your left hand back on your hip. Bend your right knee. Step all the way back with your left leg. Warrior two pose. Open up to your left side. It's raining again, Cindy. I hope you're okay. Inhale. And exhale. Put it all together. Knee over ankle, knee in line with hip. Back toes turn towards the front of your mat. Left arm reaches back, right arm reaches forward, so shoulders are over hips. Your eye gaze is your choice, down to your right hand towards your left side, but find it steady. Left arm down, right arm up. Good. Return to warrior two. Exhale, reach forward. Right hand comes down, left hand to the hip. We float back up into that pose that we did standing just a few moments ago. Half moon. Hugging the right hip into the center. Inhale. And exhale. Good. One more breath, everybody. Good. Bring your left hand down, square your hips. Rebend your front knee and step back into your low lunge. Left arm down, right arm to the hip turn. And when you're satisfied you've got the twist, right arm comes up. Breathe in, breathe out. Hug your right hip in towards your midline. One more breath. Beautiful. Exhale the hands to the floor. Straighten your front leg, fold over it. Fold and let go. Inhale, rebend your front knee, look forward. Three-legged downward dog, open up your right hip. So when you open up your right hip, keep the weight in right and left hands. Turn your hips square. Stay in a dog, but bring your knee to your chest, round curl. Then shift to your plank and extend your leg out. Chaturanga, or go back to dog. Upward, then downward dogs for me. Breathe in and out. Take a few breaths here, or child's pose. Child's pose is always an option. I don't always say it, but you know that it's there for you to take. Look in between your hands and step your left foot through. Inhale, hover your fingertips, exhale. And then inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend arms and leg. Inhale, straighten arms and leg. Good. Exhale, hinge forward, shoot your arms back. Doesn't matter if the front leg is straight or not. Start to bend into it. Release your hands to the floor blocks and float your right leg off the floor. Supported warrior three. And we're turning this one on its side. Left hand on the floor. Right hand, to your hip. Spin it open. First find your openness. Find the length in the right leg, the strength in the left leg. And then perhaps the right arm comes up and maybe your gaze follows along. So you're back in that L shape. That's it. Even if your foot doesn't come off the floor, it's perfect. Because it's perfect for where you need to be. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon balancing pose. Soften your left knee. You can put your hand back on your hip. Step your right foot all the way back. Find your balance. Warrior two, exhale. Adjust. Knee over the ankle, knee in line with second, third toes. Back toes turn in slightly. I have my footing a little off, so I'm going to adjust. You know, you don't always land in the right place, right? And it is a beautiful flow. The transitions move smoothly, but sometimes you have to adjust. So sometimes you have to just move one foot or two. Take another breath. Good. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Get a nice stretch out of your waistline. Good. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, reach forward and we return to our half moon balance. Breathe in, breathe out. So you might find the movements a little quicker on the second time. Your body recognizes the pattern a little quicker, a little bit more. Take another breath. Exhale, the right hand comes down, hips are squared again. Left knee bends as you step all the way back to a low lunge. Right hand comes inside, left hand to the hip if you have the stretch. Left arm up over your torso. Breathe in, stretching from fingertip to fingertip. Crown of the head forward, tailbone back. One more breath. Exhale, left hand down. Straighten your left leg and fold over it. Wherever you want your hands is fine. One more breath. inhale, rebend your front knee. Step your left leg into a three-legged downward dog. Open your hip. And then turn your hips square. Knee to chest and dog. Shift it to high plank. And take your way into your flow. We'll meet in down dog. Bend your knees, look forward, take yourself to the top of your mat. Halfway lift when you get there. Exhale, let it go. Ride your breath to stand all the way up. Bring your prayer to your heart center. Exhale, find some balance here. Close your eyes. Bring your tailbone underneath you. Firmly ground your feet to the floor. Lift the energy from your feet through your legs, through your knees, through your quads. Tailbone down, collarbones broaden. Open your eyes, crown of the head to the sky. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bring prayer to your heart. Step your right foot back 2 to 3 feet so you're on your tippy toes. Inhale. Now hinge forward, find warrior 3. Arms can be forward, back, by your ears, by your side in prayer. Yep. That's great, Maxine. You can stay supported, guys. And then back to your opening half moon balance. We're not staying forever, so just grab some balance here. Find your stillness. Bend your front knee. Step all the way back, warrior 2, inhale. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Good. Straighten your front leg, come back up to standing. Adjust your back foot for triangle. You might have to shorten the stance. Move your hips right, move your torso left. Reach your left hand down when you found the width out of your, the length out of your side body. Right arm up, shoulders stack. Good. So even though there might be some challenging moments in your practice, and there should be, there probably are, even if you were doing some basic movements, which we are actually doing a lot of basic movements, but there's always an opportunity to grow in it. So we're never fully in the deepest expression of any pose that we can ever get to, and we've never learned so much that we can't learn more from it. Take another breath. Look down at your left toes. Inhale, rise up, reverse this. Turn your left toes to the right, arms out shoulder height. Readjust your feet to be as wide as your hips. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Palms together, knuckles down. Lift your heart up. Exhale, fold your body in half. Start with a bent knee and your head down towards the floor. Once you get in this position, then decide, is it appropriate for me today, at this very moment on my mat, to straighten my legs? And if it's not, keep your knees bent. Shift your weight forward so there's no pressure into your knees. Take another breath. Good. Inhale, release your hands to the floor, right under your shoulders. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, walk around to the front of your mat. Left knee bends. Right hand down, left arm opens up, twist. So here's an option for you. To stay right here is one option. Second option is to bring your right knee to the floor and turn around to your left side like we did in the beginning of class. Third option is to just step back into your side plank. Any variety with your legs. Lift the right side of your torso up and perhaps the left arm over your head. Good. Find your shoulder over the wrist as best you can for one more breath. Ladies, inhale. And gentlemen, if you're out there, exhale, hands to the floor, plank pose. Push back to downward dog. Step your feet a little closer, right hand to left foot, shin or ankle, and twist and relieve some of the pressure off the right hand and wrist. Inhale, come on back to your center. Walk back to downward dog. High up on your tippy toes, shift forward to a high plank. Take your choice of push-ups, none, a lot, or just downward dog. Hips up in the air. Rise up onto your toes, bend your knees. Bring yourself to the top of your mat, halfway lift when you get there. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, rise to stand, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring prayer into your heart center. Release your arms by your side. Take a moment, recompose. Drop your shoulders, broaden your collarbones, open your eyes. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, prayer to your heart. Step your left foot back about 2 to 3 feet. Shoulders and hips squared. Sad, he died just a few weeks ago. Send it forward. Start to lift your back leg off the floor. Point your toes. Breathe. Good. So warrior 3, any variation with your arms, right? Bringing your arms forward will definitely be the most challenging. Good, Maria? Yeah? Challenging on your back as well. And then we're going to float this into half moon one more time. So right hand comes down, left hand comes up to your hip or up in the air. So again, our body recognizes the pattern a little bit easier. We're not here forever on this one. Take one more breath. Look down, rebend your front knee. Take a nice, giant, healthy step back into warrior 2. Exhale, inhale, and reverse exhale. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Stand upright, bring your back foot in. If that's your choice, move your hips to the left and reach your torso forward. Right arm down. So get as much space out of your torso as you can before you come down. Always a good rule of thumb. Find space before you twist or bend. Bring your tailbone underneath you, stack your shoulders. Keep the crown of the head reaching forward. One more breath. Good. Inhale, rise up. Turn your right toes to the left. If you shortened your stance, you might want to widen. Take your arms behind you. Interlace the other finger in front. Knuckles down, heart lifts. And then forward fold. Bend your knees. Bend your knees a lot. Let your belly rest on your thighs. Let your head come down. Now you decide if straightening your legs is in the cards for you today. So you never have to straighten your legs here. Right? Some of you will have your arms over your back, over your head, over the floor. Some of you will be closer to your back. It's all dependent on your limbs, your flexibility. And no two people are exactly alike. Even I don't think twins, Michelle. Take your hands to the floor. Lengthen your spine, hands on your shoulders. Walk around to the front. Left hand down, right hand opens up, twist. So now you have those options again. You can bring your back knee to the floor. You can stay where you are, or maybe you want to take a side plank, just bringing yourself over towards your right side. But lift the bottom side of your torso, no matter where you are. Knee on the floor, same thing. Right arm up and over your head, open your heart. Good, take another breath here. Exhale the hands to the floor. Hips up in the air. Step your feet 1 foot closer. Take your left hand to your outer right foot, shin or ankle. Hug your right hip towards the center. Good, beautiful work, guys. Come back to your downward dog. Adjust your feet. Take a vinyasa here or skip it. So come to your plank, chaturanga, upward, and downward facing dogs. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Bring your knees onto the earth. Push into a child's pose for a moment. I'm going to just reset my mat. Good. And then bring yourself a little bit more upright and swing your hips around to the, let's bring our feet to the left side so you're sitting on your right hip. Stack your ankles and hold on to your little mermaid twist. So sit up tall and twist to your left side. Come back to center. Take your left leg and bring it on the outside of your right knee. You don't have to have your left butt on the floor, and if it's really high off the floor, just put a block underneath you. And then hold on to your shins, look forward. Lower your left hip towards the floor, not on the floor necessarily. Bring your left arm up in the air, inhale long. Exhale, turn to the left side, left hand behind you. Stay upright, lift the right arm up, turn to your left side, and take your arm outside the thigh. Now hug the knee and the tricep towards each other. So create that length we talked about, lengthening before we twist or bind, or bend, and open to the left side. Come back to center, inhale. Just take a little turn to the right side. Take your left peace fingers around your left big toe. Come back to your center. Go back to that 90-90 as best you can. And then extend the left leg out in front of you. Take your right arm out to the side. And then open out to the side. Sit in front of your sitting bones nice and tall. So now carefully, think about how you're going to get here. You're going to bring the foot to the floor. So some of you will bend your knee and place your foot on the floor and slide it out. Some of you may just take it all the way down and then lean up and over to your left side. Beautiful. Inhale and exhale. So your left arm is on the inside of your left leg, even if you're not holding the toes, you don't need to. Use the arm as a little bit of a traction to rotate your torso open. Good. Inhale, lift up, right hand behind you, left arm sweeps up, open up your heart. And come on down. Come back to center, lean back, shake out your legs, come on in and take them over to the right side. So stack your hips. I'm not going to stack my hips. I have it's a little difficult for me today, a little injury. And I'll share that with you. So I know to modify, twist to the right side. There will be a day when I say no injuries. I just don't know when that'll happen. So keep twisting, look over to your left side. Come back to center. Good, take your right leg, bring it on the outside of your left knee, or again, if that's questionable for you, have a seat on a block. And if you're like me, and this is a little challenging with an injury, keep the foot on the inside of the shin, or you can straighten your bottom leg. Hold on to your shins, lift up nice and tall. Good. And then take yourself into the twist, right hand behind you. Left arm can come up outside the thigh, inside, hugging around. Inhale. Come back to your center. Good. Take the opposite twist for a moment. Take your right hand peace fingers around your right foot. Bring the leg back to center. You can stay here. You can straighten your leg. And then you can open it out to the side. Good. Sitting up nice and tall. So if your spine starts to round and you kind of roll back into Shavasana, sit up on something. Or bend the knee. Take another breath. Good. Now either bend your knee and place your foot on the floor and slide it out, or just come down and turn to your left side. So your hand is on the inside or at the foot, but your arm is on the inside, not the outside of the foot, and it gives you this little traction to spin your torso. Inhale, come up, left hand down, sweep it around, arch back. Exhale, come back down on your seat. Good, move your block if it's there, lean back, shake out your legs, and this time we're going to take a straddle, and you can take it facing the long side of your mat or the short edge, whatever is comfortable for you on your feet, right? And for your space. So walk your hands in front of you so that your spine is upright, right? Now keep the upright spine as you walk forward. So you may not get very far. Toes are up to the ceiling and open the hips out. So between that, not turning your hips in and not rounding your back, you might not get that far, so it's okay. Inhale and exhale. So keep the spine long, head in line with your spine. Breathe. And then find your maximum place and stay for 5 breaths. Sometimes in the holding of those breaths, you actually find a little bit more space. One more breath. And then start to walk yourself back in slowly. Soften your knees, shake them out. Bring your legs back together. So the legs are out in front of you. Just check that when you go back on your mat, that your head will be supported on the mat. If you don't mind being on the floor, that's up to you. Move the flesh. Take your arms out in front of you. Lift your chest up. Point your toes. Flex your feet. Release your hands without changing your spine. Tuck your chin to your chest. Pull your belly to your spine, round your back, and then articulate your spine down one vertebrae at a time. So keep your legs active here. As you roll backwards, first you find your tailbone. Then you find your lowest part of your back, your middle back, shoulder blades, and then your head down, arms by your side. Open up your legs, let it go. Good. Bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. Imprint your spine, so point your pubic bone upward. And then bring your legs both off 90 degrees, like we did before earlier on a block even. And then stretch your legs straight in the air. Straight meaning not over your chest, because your hips will lift. So imagine that you're holding really good china on your feet. Arms are by your side, or some of you might have them underneath your hips. Bring your feet closer together now. Now forget the china, point your toes. Keep your legs long. Start to lower your legs down towards the floor. So as you're lowering your legs, you're lengthening your legs away from you. All the way down to the floor. When you get to the floor, lightly come up onto your forearms and to the top of your head. There should be no weight in your head, so push down through your arms to lift your heart up. And any other variations that you have of this pose are welcome. Inhale and exhale. Good. Take a breath in to bring your chin to your chest and roll all the way down to the floor. Draw your knees up to your chest, hug your knees in, grab as far around to your elbows as you can without having your hips all the way off the floor. Now keep your knees really close to your chest as you open your arms to a T. Shift your hips right, let your knees fall to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hips move left, knees fall to the right. Spinal twist. Inhale to center. One more time, hug your knees all the way up to your chest. Lift your head and shoulders up off the floor. Nice tight wall. If you can hold on to the bottoms of your feet, grab a hold. Pull everything really tight. Breathe in and breathe out. Lower your head. Lower your legs. Extend your arms overhead like we did way back in the beginning. Right arm, right leg long. Left arm, left leg long. Both arms and legs long. Reach as far in two directions you can. Take a big breath in. And as you empty the breath, bring your arms by your side, palms face up. Allow your hips to sink open. Allow your body weight to completely surrender. Inhale. And exhale, surrender into your mat. Find your final Shavasana. Breathe in and breathe out. If you have the luxury to stay longer, stay on. Turn down the sound and stay in your final pose. And if, on the other hand, you need to make your way back into this time and space, start to deepen your breath. Start to make small movements through your fingers and toes. Draw your knees up to your chest. Turn to either side and make a pillow for your head. And gently, on your own time, rise up to sit up on your comfortable seat with your hands together at your heart center. Thank you all for being here, as always. It's much more fun with you. Bow to yourselves and honor yourselves for showing up and doing the work. And then bow down to each other and honor the beauty, the light, the peace, the goodness, the love within each one of you. Namaste, Sat Nam, go in peace. Have a wonderful 4th of July. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10:30. Monday morning, fitness. Stay home, stay fit, stay healthy. Get vaxxed, wear a mask.